Cruciferous vegetables, those are going to be your cabbages, broccoli. Those are the cruciferous vegetables that people typically think about. Yeah. Cauliflower,
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. And those are actually very good roasted. I hope that.
I'll come to your house for, you can make me some, nobody ever cooks for me. What's up with that? Where's our nutrition aspect on those?
Here again, very rich in your B vitamins, phytonutrients. When I keep referring to phytonutrients, think of those. So many of these chemicals that plants produce are to protect themselves, but they also, again, give us health benefits that are great. So with the different colors, so a cruciferous vegetable, a Brussels sprout will have different phytonutrients than, say, cauliflower. So that's where they differ.
Sulfur. I know that I've heard that the thing that makes some people sort of turn their nose up about those cruciferous vegetables, and when you overcook them, that extra sulfur leaches out.
Yes.
But if you sort of undercook them, or as I do, I tend to threaten my vegetables, you're getting the sulfur. How is that as a nutrient?
Well, actually, sulfur is very important in the body, especially for cell repair, DNA repair. It helps protect your cells, so sulfur is definitely an important part of your diet.
And I know in World War II, the only medication they sent with every soldier was a sulfur tablet, because they thought it kind of cured what ailed you. Even if you got shot, you're supposed to take a sulfur pill. So I don't think it works to that degree, but
possibly not.
You know what? If it worked for those guys, hopefully it works for us. Always a big thanks to my dear friend Dr. Ellen Steinberg. And as we talked about, it's a big family of vegetables, right? So things like Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, bok choy, mustard, collards, which are these giant leaves here. And they are famous for, if you overcook them, they do tend to become a little bit pungent. Let's use that word. But I love to, like all my vegetables, I like to threaten them or just barely cook them. And the one that I wanted to show off today, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat here, are these baby cauliflower, which, you know, that's kind of a trendy term when people say it's baby broccoli or it's baby bok choy or it's baby cauliflower, when in reality it is a different species of cauliflower. It's in the same family, but here if you look at them side by side, you can see just the growth pattern is different. So it's not that this was a cauliflower that was taken in its prime. It's just in that large family of cruciferous vegetables. This is the way it blooms, and this is just a much larger version of it. And the stem on this is very fibrous and woody. It is edible, but it's not necessarily delicious. Whereas when you have these again, baby or these varieties, the stem on these are very tender. And so really for this, or if you're using the broccolini or the baby broccoli, which are these smaller ones here, you can see these guys are like first cousins, right? Same kind of a thing, very tender, edible stem that's not so fibrous. So really all I'm doing with these is just giving them a quick steam. Now sometimes you'll see where they'll say you can throw them in the microwave for a minute. Ooh, I'm getting a nice steam bath here. Which you can do, but whenever I can avoid the microwave, I do, especially since this is so easy. It's just, I put in just a splash of water, got the steam going, threw the baby cauliflower in there, and I also put a few cloves of garlic in there as well, just to kind of perfume the whole thing, to kind of flavor it up. You can boil them or drop them in boiling water to shock them and then remove them, but when you're boiling them, you do kind of lose some of the nutrients into that cooking liquid. So steaming is a great way to do it. And really, these again are so tender and so easy. And there's so many health benefits. Look at the color on that. I mean, to me, that is just so amazing. So I didn't want to overcomplicate this or spend a lot of time trying to create something, ridiculously complex. I wanted to actually kind of incorporate, we did an episode on superfoods where we focused on olive oil. And in that episode, which you can find right here on gastriccancer.org, we made kind of a spiced olive oil blend using things like thyme and oregano and basil and a little smoked salt. And I happen to have that sitting right here. This on its own is delicious. It would be great on a pizza. It would be great mixed into anything you're doing where you just want a little pop of veg. But as a side dish, just to have a spiced olive oil. Again, this is thyme, oregano, basil, a little bit of red pepper flakes, some fresh garlic, and I'm just going to take some of that and drizzle it on top of this. And what a great little side dish this is, hot or cold. So as a cold salad even, you could use this and marinate that in that olive oil blend, and it's just going to get better as it sits. But as a quick hot side, takes minutes to cook this. I think oftentimes we think of, oh, it'll take too long. It's too much prep work. It's too much time. Time as in the quantity of measurement, not time as in the herb. But anyway, there's always a reason or excuse to not prepare something healthy and fresh. But I just wanted to show this off. It's relatively new in the market. It's been available in the restaurant trade for a while, but you'll now see these the broccolini, or the baby broccoli, or the baby cauliflower, which I think is called Fiorinini. I don't know. It has a fancy sounding Italian name, but again, typically sold as baby cauliflower. Takes minutes to prepare, super delicious, super nutritious, and again, a great example of one of our 10 superfoods. We'll have this and all of the videos featuring our 10 superfoods at gastriccancer.org or on YouTube, and I hope you check them all out. Figure out what works best for you. How do you incorporate this into your diet? What can you tolerate? What do you enjoy? And obviously, this is one preparation. I'd love to know, how do you prepare? What's your favorite way to do it? And you can always leave comments and interact with us on there. And as always, we'll look forward to seeing you right here in the Gesundheit Kitchen. Until next time, take care.